The Hound of the Baskervilles.
It's coming! Sholmes's cry pierced through the thick wall of fog around us. Wisps of vapor flowed over the pistol as I cocked it, and I waited, breathlessly, in the stillness. The silence lasted for what seemed an eternity, until, at last, it appeared. From the shadows of the cloud, an enormous beast sprang out upon us. A hound it was, but not such a hound as any mortal has ever seen. Its eyes glowed with a smoldering glare. The whole of its ox-sized body was outlined in white-hot flames. Its rumbling pant and hideous howl, so terrified was I that I began to tremble with fear. "Look well, Wilson," Sholmes declared, gazing upon the mystical beast. "For this is the diabolical hound of the Baskervilles."
Our first 2 months in London passed by in a flash. In that disconcerting courtroom experience we were first thrown into on the day we arrived in the country, and in Soseki-san's terrible ordeal that had followed closely behind, we had emerged victorious. However, there then came an abrupt end to our opportunities to appear in court, which was hardly surprising, of course, since I was nothing more than an amateur, an unknown student of law from a faraway land. So life in our little office was very quiet. That is, until it was shattered one day by that fateful telegram. That morning, I was woken by the unreserved knocking on the door by the telegram boy. But after he'd gone, Susato-san's behavior became very obviously strange. Susato-san? Yes? Is it time to leave for court already? Let me see, what case is it today? I don't think I'm scheduled to defend anyone at the moment, am I? Oh no, of course not. How silly of me. But I think Iris said she would make us breakfast this morning. So shall we go down to Mr. Sholmes' suite? Sweet. Yes. Iris makes the most delicious breakfast food. She does, doesn't she? And once our bellies are full, we can leave for court in fighting fit form. Don't tell me we don't have any clients at all. What about money? Let me see, what case is it today? Here we go again. Are you okay, Susato-san? The telegram. Okay, let's first investigate our lovely home. It looks very lovely. It's spring at last and the weather is warmer now, but I love the smell of the fire and the steam rising from the kettle. Oh, would you like some tea, Naruhodo-san? Thank you, Susato-san, but I'm alright for now. With the green tea Susato-san makes me from time to time and Iris's unique herbal infusions, this place is a paradise for a true tea lover. Green tea is such a wonderful accompaniment to British tea cakes, don't you think? Oh, what's that? So this is the tea set that Susato-san brought with her from Japan. Let's hope she hasn't noticed me slipping sugar and milk into my cup when she makes it. It's just so bitter. Tea is a drink to be enjoyed, Naruhodo-san. You really don't have to force yourself to drink it, you know? I don't like to see you screw up your face so. A lot of paperwork, but no cases? We've only been here in London for about 2 months, but my desk is starting to look a little messy already. You could tidy up once in a while. Susato-san, I always say, making a mess is a small sacrifice to pay for being able to further your studies, and time spent tidying up is time you can't devote to the same cause. And time spent on ridiculous arguments is time that could be better spent on some simple housework. She wins, but I'm supposed to be the lawyer here. She's got more experience than me. Oh, what is that? My notes? This must be the telegram. Let's see. No, you mustn't look at that. Not under any circumstances. Alright, I won't. I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san, but you can be very mischievous at times. Then put the telegram away if you don't want people looking at it. Wait, what? Why can I not look at it? Is it something serious? I thought maybe this was a new case, but no. We were rather lucky to find that old aquarium left behind here. The prawns we put in there are doing rather well, and the anemones too. It's a wonderful invention, isn't it? The sea behind the glass inside your room. Another example of Great Britain's greatness. Having to clean it out and change the water isn't so great though, is it? Do you know, I've never seen inside your room there, Susato-san. I've never even peeped inside. I should think so too. A young maiden's private chamber is a place of bittersweet secrets, you know. Whatever you say, young maiden. Okay, I think that's all inside this room. Why can I not look at the telegram? What the heck? Susato-san? So, what was it about? The telegram that was delivered this morning, I mean. Oh, a telegram? I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, that telegram on the desk right there. Sorry, but you're not going to get away with that. Well, I didn't think it would. Actually, don't give it a moment's thought. It's nothing. Nothing interesting. Boring, in fact. Ahem. It was just a boring old telegram. That's 3 times now that she's tried and failed to convince me it was nothing. I promise that I'll tell you about it at some point. Do we have money problems because we don't have any clients? Oh no, alright, I understand. Oh no. I suppose Soseki-san will have arrived back in Japan by now, won't he? Yes, I should think so. He left immediately after that terrible ordeal. Which would mean he should have completed the voyage already, or be just a few days away. Okay, he's not dead, that's something. He did not die in a terrible accident. A fortnight ago, we had that very long telegram from him, do you remember? Complaining of seasickness. But by and large, it seems the voyage has been going well. Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san? I was just wondering what might have become of Soseki-san had he stayed in London, that's all. You mean as regards Lord Van Zieks, the Reaper? Yes, I can't help wondering if seasickness would have paled into insignificance in that case. He would be dead. Probably. What is it they say, that no one who stands in the dark can be saved from the Reaper, right? Like the way that nightmarish trial ended on the very day we arrived in London. Even 2 months on, the cause of that dreadful fire is still a mystery. Yes, but at least Soseki-san is safely out of the country now. Presumably that means that the curse of the Reaper can only take effect within the confines of the city of London, perhaps? Even if that's the case, it's little comfort. I have a terrible sense of foreboding. Oh no, why would you say that? Why would I say that? If the legend of the Reaper is to be believed, it would mean he wields the sword of justice himself. Come to think of it, I wonder what he's been up to these past 2 months. Surely not wielding that sword against more acquitted defendants. No, I don't think so. Apparently Lord Van Zieks hasn't appeared in court once since our last encounter. Oh? Why not? Yes, since Soseki-san's trial, he's withdrawn from judicial service again, it seems. Really? Just like before, when he wasn't seen in court at all for several years. So it's just been me who's had to face him in his recent spate of trials then? Just my luck. I wonder if luck doesn't come into it. Sorry, what was that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Are you saying Lord Van Zieks enjoys to oppose me in court? Is that it? I guess we'll move to Shom's suite. Here we are again. Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems to get more and more overbearing. Just think, we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having a nice cozy breakfast. But we have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially since we're guests. So I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided. I suppose not, but is there even anyone here? You could hear a pin drop in this place, it's too solemn for its own good. It is very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of the great clock. Pitter-patter? What was that, I wonder? The usual comforting sound of the clock seems to have been joined by a less comforting shuffling sound today. You're right, something's disturbing the rhythmical ticking. It sounds rather like an unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post clumsily. Who are you calling unfit? Oh, Inspector Gregson, what are you doing here? What am I? Isn't it flaming obvious? 58 seconds remaining, Inspector. Oh, we'll have to talk later, Sunshine. Good morning, Lord Strongheart. Wow, he's really looking fiercely at his pocket watch today. And good morning to you. Business so early in the day. Oh, yes, well, I mean, it's about the other day, I'm always so flustered when talking to Strongheart. We are to deliver our report, Lord Strongheart, as our dealings with Mr. Natsume are now over. Ah, yes, the little Japanese man. I've already cast my eyes over Van Zieks' report. I must say, the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done. You are too kind, my lord. It's not here, it's not there, and it's not over there either. Is he okay? I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly is the inspector doing? He's been harrying around between the bookshelves, looking beside himself with worry. He's looking for a particular work, The Lion's Pride. Now there's an all too familiar title. I'd heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, it wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I soon cast it aside. I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time, so I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where that was. Nope, not there, not here either. Come on, where are you lions hiding? The book is due back today, so I've asked Gregson to locate it for me with his investigative prowess. Inside 5 minutes. Wow. You should have hired Sholmes for that. I must say, I've never seen anyone working so hard to find something. He's like a man possessed. Oh yes, that's because his month's salary is staked upon the outcome. At whose instigation? Let me guess, the stony-faced lord. And the 5-minute time limit? What's the significance of that? There is none. Just my vulgar, mischievous spirit showing itself, I'm afraid. Oh, by your own admission. I can't. My feet are killing me. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector. Which means that next month you will work unpaid and have no days. No way! Are you serious? You can't do that. No days off? He can't do that, can he? There really are just so many books here, it's overwhelming. For some, perhaps, I've purchased every book, new or old, on the subject of law from all over the globe. You wouldn't have believed it a few short decades ago. A place like this couldn't have existed. What do you mean, Inspector? When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books. Oh, I see. Western books are such luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings. No, that's not it. Oh. There was a tax on paper, see? On paper? Yeah, I mean, it was abolished about 30 years back now, but it used to be the case. Oh, you used to have taxes on everything. That's crazy. There was tax levied on any kind of paper, so obviously that meant most folk couldn't afford to buy any books at all. Ah, so is that why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence, Lord Strongheart? Indeed, vestiges of paper tax system, you could say. The general public considers books as items for hire. London is home to a vast lending library of some 3.5 million books. You couldn't hope to read all of that even if you were reincarnated 10,000 times. Even I would choose to rent a book rather than purchase it if I knew I would read it infrequently. The subject of tax has actually surprised us already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. It seems that a window in his room was filled in due to some kind of window tax. That would be true. Fortunately, the window tax was abolished here some 40 years ago. Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain. Britons always had a bit of a thing for taxing stuff, and whatever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee, you name it. Candles, beards. Wait, sorry? What was that last one? Did you say beards? Yup, the beard tax. Never heard of it? Never. Why should people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow? You may well ask. I suppose it's because it makes them look self-important. The Naruhodos will have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think. Why that? You can relax. The beard tax was confined to the annals of history long ago. Even so, it's clearly something the British really love. Paying taxes, I mean. Paying them? You've got that back to front, sunshine. But you can't deny you've had a lot of funny taxes over the years. You'd never find anything like that in Japan. Would you, Mr. Sato? In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo. What? No, you don't mean... Surely there's never been a window tax in Japan? No, but there have been similarly obscure taxes. For example, in the Edo period, there was a frontage tax. A what? What was that? It was a tax not on windows, but on the entrance to properties. The larger property's entrance was, the greater the tax that was levied on it. Even today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation. I had no idea. So you Japanese are as twisted as us Brits. But we never had a beard tax. I mean, that's really going a step too far. Well, no, that's true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards, at least. What do you mean, at least? Well, rather than tax them, the shogunate did once prohibit them outright. Prohibit? Wow, that's interesting. I mean, in ancient China, I believe you couldn't shave your beard as a form of filial piety. The ruling class prohibited beards? It was called the Great Beard Prohibition. It was an Edo period edict. But why did the powers that be want to ban beards? Because it makes people look self-important? Just an idea? It would seem that rulers in the East and the West have had very similar ideas over the years. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period. There have? For example, though it was before either of us were born, there was a rabbit tax. A tax on those adorable fluffy creatures, like the one who makes mochi sweets on the moon? Yes, and it was an extremely large tax too. The government demanded extraordinary sums of money. This just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax? Well, after Japan opened its doors to the world, there was an unprecedented rabbit boom in the Meiji capital. A boom? Yes, keeping rabbits became hugely popular, and new species were traded at exorbitant prices. People were even swindled out of all their money for exotically colored rabbits. Like colored chicks, I suppose. Hard to imagine though, rabbits are so timid and quiet, wouldn't have thought one could bankrupt you. So in response to this worrying social vogue, the government imposed a rabbit tax. I suppose they couldn't just ignore the problem. And it worked, because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end. 6 years later, the tax was abolished. Well, I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange. But there's more. After the rabbit tax was abolished then, of course, society reacted by launching straight into a second rabbit boom. Oh dear, the government didn't think of that one through, did they? Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. If you are responsible for the running of the country, you will feel the need to raise revenue keenly. Without a stable taxation system, the whole country would go down the drain. Well, yes, I suppose. But some of these taxes... That's precisely why ministers of state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways of taxing. Novel ways? Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, if you were one of my country's statesmen. Me? A British statesman? Yes, what novel tax would you impose? Pray give us something truly original. Inside 5 seconds. What? Oh, think of something that everyone uses, Mr. Naruhodo, and really squeeze every penny out of the population. That's quite the intense stare. I'm very glad Susato-san isn't in charge. Your time is up. So, what's your answer? Water, if I'm very evil? Or the air, tax the air? Air maybe. Oh, yes, how about air? An air tax, you say? Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. A truly novel and fiendish idea. Well, everyone has to breathe. So while the population is inhaling air, my government is inhaling money. Blimey, you're a tyrant at heart, eh? A somewhat radical solution to a country's revenue problems, but sadly not an original one. No, you mean to say... Surely not. You mean a tax on air has been imposed in the past? It was last century. The finance minister of our neighbor, France, proposed it. What? If I ever go for a visit, I'm holding my breath. Unsurprisingly, it was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either. Oh dear, although clearly that would have been an untenable situation. The public at large are a force to be reckoned with. Don't I know it? How about you, Inspector? What new tax would you impose? Let me see. My first thought is a tax on objections. What? Sorry? Been hearing far too many of them recently in court. There's a particular lawyer I have in mind as it happens. You don't mean me? So I think an objection tax could be very handy. Good to see you don't allow your personal fears to influence your work in public office. I reckon 5 pence for every objection raised would be about right. A most amusing proposal, Gregson. A most unamusing proposal, my lord. Well then, I think it's your turn now. Sorry, my turn for what? Why, what else? To locate my missing copy of the Lion's Pride. Oh, it's on one of the shelves in this room, of that I am certain now. I shall give you 10 minutes. Me? And let's take your student's stipend on it, Fail to find a book and you forfeit next month's payment. Objection? Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. I believe you just said the word objection. Kindly leave your 5 pence over there before you begin combing the shelves. This tax is going to be the death of me. You can't take my stipend. It's not from the British government. Morning, Runo. Morning, Susie. Good morning, Iris. Oh my god, is that Sholmes playing the violin? Sounds horrible. Iris? What is it, Runo? What is that terrible noise? It sounds like a cat being strangled. Ah, yes, you noticed that, did you? Ellie isn't in the best form this morning, it seems. Hello. Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Good morning. Are you okay? Oh. Good morning to die, perhaps. Has something happened, Mr. Sholmes? You look miserable, and the way you were playing the violin before. My analytical mind is dead. Music is dead. The world is dead. Damn this blanched existence. That's all it is, my dear fellow. Nothing of consequence. Is he, like, depressed or something? Oh no. I'm afraid I don't understand. Well, Iris, isn't it time we ate some dry toast and insipid coffee for me, if it's not too much trouble? Oh. Oh, Natsumi's cat! Oh look, it's Wagahai. Wagahai? Good morning, boy. Oh, so cute. That must be some sort of tiny door for cats to use. But how did it get there? Well then, everyone, time for breakfast. Oh, wonderful. Let me help you, Iris. It would indeed be a fine day to die. Holy crap. You need therapy. That's what you need. Ah, I knew something looked different. Oh! His analytical machine is missing. Something's missing. Let's examine. Oops, that was the wrong key. There's a thing missing. The thing is missing. Hey, wait, where did you put your violin, Sholmes? There's all sorts of on these shelves, chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high, I can't help feeling that a whole lot is going to topple at any moment. Oh, it's such a charmingly untidy collection of paraphernalia, isn't it? It just looks messy to me, like my desk. But you, Mr. Naruhodo, must learn to tidy up after yourself. And why, Susato? No favoritism there, then. Why? Sholmes can do anything, but no, I have to follow all the rules. Look at Mr. Sholmes' desk. It's completely clear. Isn't that enormous machine usually on it? We can never hope to understand what goes on in the great detective's mind, Mr. Naruhodo. Why, next time we're invited, we may find he's vacated the entire suite. That's scarily plausible, actually. The fire is burning comfortingly in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow. Oh, look at that photographic print of a lady displayed on a mantelpiece. Could it be? Yes, it must be. It's the woman. Oh, how exciting. Is that supposed to mean something to me? What? These are all mementos of Mr. Sholmes' past cases, I think. If he'd been involved in my case, I wonder if the beefsteak from La Carnival would be on display here. A mystery shoe, a curious hammer, some mysterious dancing men, a bust of Napoleon. Ah, what an entrancing collection. It looks like an untidy assortment of junk to me, rather like what's on my own shelves. Well, you really ought to learn to keep your things in order, Mr. Naruhodo. No favoritism there at all. On Iris's side, seems everything's like before. Iris's beautiful tea set is there on the table as usual. A cup of one of her special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain. The English pastime of tea has many similarities with our own tea ceremony customs, don't you think? It's the idea of hospitality behind it, that's the essence of tea. That's a nice thought. Come to think of it, I haven't seen Iris doing much writing recently, but there's paper already set up in the typewriter, look, as if she's about to start. That reminds me, when I mentioned that Iris was in the process of writing a full-fledged novel, Mr. Natsume was most impressed. Ah yes, Mr. Natsume. That's what I'll be doing too once I'm back in Japan, he said through tightly clenched fists and teeth. I will root for you, Soseki-san. That's a charming little white shelf, and full of charming little bottles too, but the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems. Science is the future, Mr. Naruhodo, you can't deny it. I'm saving my money so that I can buy some chemistry apparatus as well. Law, chemistry, takedown throws, what diverse skills you boast, Mr. Sato. As useful as they are, I'm not sure that my throwing skills are worthy of inclusion in that list. Why not? You threw me a couple dozen times already. Ragai? Mr. Natsume's cat seems to have settled in to his new home then. Oh yes, and I've become very attached to little Raggy. It would appear his previous owner has completely forgotten to him. Cats are unfeeling creatures. Their mews are as empty as the hearts of the muses. If Mr. Natsume had no intention of taking Waggy back home to Japan, I wonder why he kept him in the first place. I expect he would have taken him if he could, but pets are strictly forbidden aboard steamships in our experience. How did he get it here then? And for good reason, terrible things can happen if the rules of passage are not obeyed. Well, I don't mind, because Waggy is adorable. Oh, so cute. Yes, he really is. Oh yes, what about the door? I don't remember seeing that tiny thing in the main door before. Where did that come from? Oh, you noticed? You're so observant, Runo. Look, I used this. It's my latest invention. Huh? What is this? I call it the cat flapper-mat. Gosh, a machine for making doors just for cats? That's right, I can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. And it can do it in any door at all, no matter what it's made of. It's very powerful, you see. Whoa, that's almost too powerful. Don't tell me you disassembled the analyzer to make this thing? Wouldn't it have been quicker just to make the cat flap rather than making a machine to make the cat flap? Well, yes, maybe, but now I can make cat flaps anywhere I like. Oh, I think it's wonderful. You must make one for us in the door of our office upstairs, Iris. She really knows how to come up with unconventional inventions, this girl. Hey. Okay, that's nice. What about Sholmes, is he okay? Wanting to die? That's very serious. You seem to be very unhappy this morning, Mr. Sholmes. What's happened? It used to be the case that in my hands, this violin sung like the dawn chorus. Its mellifluent tones would make flowers bloom. It would. But now, the muses are unamused with me. The goddesses of music have thrown me over. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? For hours I have bowed. For days even, through the night I have endeavored to no avail. That sound, my tone, is lost. That brilliant, clear, unwavering tone. Gone forever, no more recitals of unbridled emotion. Well, you haven't been practicing much lately, have you, Hurley? Don't worry, I'm sure it will come back to you in time. Heed my words, Mr. Naruhodo. The goddesses of the arts are fickle. I mean, it's like riding a bicycle, I think. Like, once you learn how to do it, you will never forget. One day they bestow genius on a man, the next day unmercifully withdraw it. Oh dear. Why is this happening to me? If they take the turn I have for the violin from me. Oh, what is left, for pity's sake? What is left? You're still a great detective? Deduction perhaps? Isn't that what you're known for? Mr. Sholmes, I don't like to pry, but... your desk looks rather empty today. Oh, well done, Mrs. Sato. Your observational skills do you credit. Oh no, Mr. Sholmes, they pale into insignificance when compared to yours. You'd struggle not to notice, wouldn't you? You mean Hurley's great analythoscope? That's at Windy Banks now. Windy Banks? It's at a Windy Bank? No, Windy Banks. The pawnbrokery. Oh, you've got money problems, too. Pawn? What? You mean you've pawned that enormous machine of yours? It has some considerable value, you see, quite undeservingly. But isn't it a very important machine for your work? I do wish you had consulted us if your situation had become so desperate. I mean, what could we do? We also have money problems, right? I should have gladly passed what little income I have to you. Oh. Dear madam, things are far from desperate. But the pawnbroker has your wonderful machine. How can it be anything but desperate? Making use of a pawnbroker is quite ordinary here in London, I assure you. It is? It doesn't sound ordinary at all. It would seem that neither of you fully understand how pawnbroking works. Oh, what's to understand exactly? And what did you mean by when you said we didn't fully understand how pawnbroking works? To the people of London, pawnbrokeries are akin to banks. Banks? On Mondays, merchants relinquish their finest jackets and trappings to their pawnbroker of choice. With the money they receive in return, they are able to trade happily through the week. And then on Saturdays, they go to recover their things using the money they've earned. I had no idea. This has been a fascinating lesson for us. Everyone does it, you see, especially people in inner London. And should they have money to spare, they would purchase another fine jacket. Not to wear, obviously, but to pawn should the need arise. Oh, how ingenious. So whenever we have something that's getting in the way, we leave it at Windy Banks, you see. getting in the way? A pawnbrokery can be thought of as an extremely secure vault. Really? Who would have thought that even pawnbrokers are different here in Great Britain? Wait, how do pawnbrokers work in Japan? Wait. A secure vault, really? Okay. Of course, you have to watch Hurley with it. Sometimes he pawns things he really shouldn't. Don't you, Hurley? What does it matter? The world is dead to me now. Oh, what was that? Wagahi? Oh my god, what happened? What was that? Oh no! Wagahai's tangled up in your violin! Oh no. I think he thinks it's a toy. No, what's he doing to it? Oh dear, Mr. Sholmes' precious violin. Why should I care? What? I shouldn't be surprised. If the cat is a more accomplished musician than I know. Mr. Sholmes really is in poor spirits, isn't he? Well, anyway, I'll put it back where it lives, shall I, Hurley? Out of the cat's reach, if possible. Maybe we should assess the damage. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. That was a misclick. Wait, why does the story not continue? I mean, we've seen everything, right? We've talked to everyone, we've examined everything. Can we eat breakfast now or something? Is there anything else? Oh, sitting at a table maybe. It looks like that huge metal chest is being used as a table. It seems very sturdy, with a lock. Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't go around opening things. I think we've read this already. Oh, Iris. Nope, that's just Wagahi. What pray are we doing here? Oh, we should assess the damage of the violin, right. So this is the violin, is it? It's a Stradivarius, one of the finest violins in the world, made by the renowned Italian luthier, Antonio Stradivari. Oh, I see. It doesn't really look like anything special to me. I happened upon it covered in dust, languishing in a pawn shop down a nondescript back alley. The broker had no idea of its value, so I was able to purchase it for a mere 55 shillings. How honorable of you. And until today, it has been my faithful companion in every great Paganini-inspired performance I have made. I ask you, is there reason to live in a world devoid of music to tolerate this blanched existence? No! There is none! Mr. Sholmes? What, dear madam, what? My thoughts are preoccupied with fancies of release from this dull routine. Well, it's about the violin. It looks very different to normal, don't you think? What do you mean, Mrs. Sato? Oh, Susie's right! Yes, the tone of the wood is completely different. And that's not all. I'm sure there was no crack here before. Yeah, that's because the cat destroyed it, right? Wait, it's not even the right size, is it? What? What's this? I'm terribly sorry to have to tell you this, Mr. Sholmes, but that instrument isn't a violin at all. Then what? I believe it's an entirely different instrument called a viola. What? Wait, you didn't know you had a viola this entire time? Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you alright? You're right. You're quite right. This isn't my faithful Stradivarius. So what, pray, is this piece of stringed flotsam? Not your faithful performing partner, then. I see what must have happened. You do, Iris? This is just a simple mix-up. It sounds like Iris might be able to tell us what exactly what's happened if we ask her. Okay, let's ask her then. What did you mean by a mix-up, Iris? Well, you see, this violin... sorry, this viola, I mean... was at Windybanks until last week. At the pawnbroker's? Not Mr. Sholmes' beloved musical partner. There's a proverb from the East with which you are no doubt familiar, my dear fellows. Always let a beloved child travel. Is that really a proverb from the East? Yes, indeed. So you sent your beloved violin to the pawnbrokers in the hope that it would experience personal growth? Oh, what a wonderful idea! Last week I pawned my great analytoscope in order to release my precious instrument. But it would appear Mr. Windybank mistakenly furnished me with his tawdry fiddle instead. But my ears cannot be deceived by the hollow timbre of this piece of timber. No, but your every sense was deceived by the fact that it just had strings. A fine state of affairs this is, and why I always say, Mr. Naruhodo, never trust a pawnbroker, they will try to fiddle you every time. I thought they were as secure as banks. But earlier you told us that you could think of a pawnbrokery as an extremely secure vault. Come, Mr. Naruhodo, dilly-dallying will get you nowhere. Sorry? Crunching your toast with that vacant aspect, pressing your coffee so obtusely. Are you not a little embarrassed by your own conduct, considering the urgency with which we are faced? Wait, I want to have my breakfast. Hold on. You must visit Mr. Windybank's brokery at once. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Sholmes? Precisely, Mr. Sato, without a moment's delay. But I haven't finished my bacon and eggs! And what about the pancakes Iris made? My dear fellow, surely you do not still intend to crunch your bacon with an increasingly vacant aspect, to press your egg over more obtusely? Alright, say no more, let's go then. Don't worry, Runa, I'd be happy to heat it up for you again later. Oh, thank you, Iris. As it happens, I am rather curious to see what a British pawnbroker looks like.